Hello, it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. Would you like to be able to save some money and you're cooking for just one or two people? It's hard, isn't it? Because groceries are going up. I know that things are getting difficult or have been difficult. But I just want to show you something today. Simple Food, Simple Life is all about simplifying your food so that you can simplify your life. And you can save money along the way. If you just, even if you don't like to cook, if you're trying to save on food expenses and it's difficult for you, then just learn to make a few simple things at home. Do ingredient prep, not meal prep, and I think that you will actually come out all right, and I think you'll realize that you don't have to spend as much money as you have been. Now then, today we're going to make a pork stir fry, which is going to contain vegetables. I'm not going to stir fry the rice. I do have some rice cooked. I've cooked rice enough for 3 to 4 servings of rice for one person, and I'll show you that when we get to that. But I'm going to make this dish, this stir fry pork and vegetables, to put alongside my rice or even on top of my rice. So that's what we're going to do. Now let me show you the ingredients. I have 1 carrot. It's not a big carrot. It doesn't need to be a big carrot. I've got some purple onion left here. I have a little packet of pork. Now this pork is one that I showed in a previous video. I had a pork roast that I got very cheaply. I sliced up that pork roast, divided it up into individual packets, and so that's a piece of that I'm going to use. It's a good way to take advantage of a sale in a large portion of meat, say a roast, and you just cut that up and you will be able to stretch it out over a long period of time, especially if you're just feeding yourself or someone else. This is great. Okay, I've got some soy sauce. I have some sesame, toasted sesame oil. I think it always tastes best for the toasted sesame oil. I've got a partial bag of frozen broccoli. I've got my homemade sweet and sour sauce, which I have a video on that, just a couple of videos back. Be sure and check it out, and I'll try to put a link to that below if that would help you. Also, I do have a video on how to cook rice without a rice cooker. It's a great way to cook rice. Your rice comes out perfect every time. Very easy, very simple. You don't need any special tools. I'll try to link that in the description as well, and that might help you if you're kind of skeptical. Can you cook good rice? Yes, you can. I've got some red pepper flakes, I've got some garlic powder, and I've got some onion powder. Would it be ideal to have fresh garlic and all that, and maybe some bell peppers of some kind? Yes, it would, but we don't have that, so we're going to use what we have. Okay, now I've cut the piece of pork in strips. Now I just use a serrated knife. If you're not concerned about using a knife, or you're not used to it, just get yourself a serrated knife. It's safer, and it's great to use. You don't need anything fancy. This does the job for about everything. Okay, so I've cut the pork into strips. Now, you guys can cut your meat and vegetables up however you want. This is how I want to do it this time. And I cut my vegetables. I made them a little larger, and the reason for that is because there's not too many ingredients in this dish, and I just want to see what's in there, and I think it's going to look more abundant that way. And I've got the frozen broccoli, I've got the purple onion, and I actually have broccoli left, so I have some left to use for another day. The broccoli is still frozen, but that's fine. Okay, I've got a little bit of oil here in my pan, and I'm just going to let that come to heat, and then I'm going to put my vegetables in the oil. Okay, Add the vegetables. It could be hotter. It's not sizzling, but we're not going to worry about that. Are we? No, we're not. Okay. Now, I'm going to put some garlic powder. You use whatever you had. This is just a teaspoon. Let's put some onion powder on there as well. Use whatever you like. And we're going to do the red pepper flakes, but we're going to do that at the end. And I'm going to put a teaspoon of the toasted sesame oil. This makes everything taste so good. It's delicious. Now we're going to do our vegetables first, and we're going to put them back in the dish that I initially had them in. We're going to put them back in our silver bowl. And then we're going to do the meat. This actually goes fry pretty quickly. I'm going to put a tiny bit of salt, but most of our salt is going to come from the soy sauce. Some pepper. This is turned up high, by the way. If you're going to stir fry vegetables, you want to make sure that your heat is high enough. We don't have to cook these all the way because once our meat is done, we're going to add them back in. Now I'm going to add a couple teaspoons of soy sauce. You use whatever soy sauce you like. This is not low sodium. If you want that, then use that. That's fine. This smells good already. Now, I'm going to use the sweet and sour sauce on the finished dish, but you can use whatever you like. They have a lot of different ones in the store, or you can learn to make your own. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to learn how to make more sauces. I'm 73. If I can learn, you can learn. Okay. I don't want to go over and grab the oil. It was just olive oil. I just put a little bit of butter in there. So in goes the pork. Now my vegetables are still crunchy. That's fine with me. A full of salt, a little bit of pepper. Let's put some onion seasoning, some powder, onion powder. And we're going to repeat. We're going to use the garlic powder again. I am going to turn the heat down just a bit. Now remember, all of these spices and the residual spices and the flavors from the vegetables are still in there. That's fine. It's not a big deal. And the pork is going to release some of its juices as well, which is really nice. All right, now I'm going to add my vegetables back in. Now, this doesn't look like a lot because it's not supposed to look like a lot. This is for one person. If you're a big eater. If you're a light eater, this can make 2 meals for you. So my heat is on medium-high. That looks very nice. I'm happy. Now because the meat and the vegetables are thin, it doesn't take very long for this to cook at all. I'm going to let this cook a little bit. It doesn't hurt to keep it moving. You don't need a wok. If you have a cast iron skillet, that's great. If you don't, that's okay too. It's just not, it's not a big thing. Now I'm going to put a little bit more sesame oil on here because that just really does beautiful things for your stir fry. I just happened to think I have some powdered ginger. I'm going to put that in. The ginger is going to give it a snap, which that's okay. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I'm going to add in my homemade sweet and sour sauce. I am going to add a little water to the jar. Okay, I added a little bit of water. Now I've actually turned my heat off. Because I don't want this to get sticky. Doesn't that look good? This is awesome. Let me take a quick taste of the sauce. We'll see where we're at. Oh wow, that's awesome. I'm so happy. Now I'm going to put a few red pepper flakes on here. You can skip this part if you don't like them. It's a person's individual taste. Now remember, this is not a recipe. It's a method that anybody can use. You can use whatever vegetables you have available to you. Now, let's see, it's slowing down because I've got the heat off. Okay, here's my stir-fry pork. Sweet and sour stir-fried pork. This is so beautiful. The smell is magnificent, I have to tell you. And here's the beauty of this meal that I just showed you how to make. Not only do I get a meal, I get a second meal. This can be used for lunch. You can take it for lunch if you have a way to heat something up when you're at work. So basically, you can have one big hearty meal, depends on your appetite, or you can have two meals. I think this is wonderful. I hope this helps you. You know what? Just remember that little is much when God is in it. I hope this helps in some way. If you're a single person or you're a couple of people, you're on a limited budget, use what you have in the house. And you would be surprised how far things can stretch, how far they can go. And you don't have to be deprived. You don't have to feel deprived. And you don't have to pay all that money for pre-made things at the store or the deli. You can actually just make it at home. Isn't that awesome? That is awesome. All right, I love you guys. You know I do. I hope this helps. If you can share it, please do, because it might help somebody else. All right, I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.